This is Industrial Edge, a podcast where we discuss the cutting edge world of factory automation and the technologies shaping the future of the industry. My name is Lacey Chandler. I'm sitting here with Amy Sihto. We are at the 2024 Almond Board Conference in Sacramento at the Safe Credit Union Conference Center. Can you just take a minute and introduce yourself? Tell us who you are, what you do, who you work for, what you're doing here at the Almond Conference.
Yes. So this is my 10th Almond Conference I've attended. My name is Amy Sihto. I work for Dorado Almonds in Madera. I'm the president of the company.
President of the company.
Have multiple roles. I wear a lot of hats, but I also do the marketing and grower relations. And as you know, our big move and push here these last few years have been efficiencies around the facility. So Chandler Automation has been integral in that. Very, very helpful for us. The efficiencies have allowed us to open doors with business and kind of just stay alive. The last few years have been really hard. So this is the first year in the last few that it's starting to feel better, and we're headed toward an upward trend, which is really nice. But yeah, your team has been amazing. So
Thank you.
thank you.
You said it's been a rough year, and you also said some things that have kept you alive. What were those things that helped get you through?
For us, it's been creating efficiencies around the facility. In doing that, we've been able to open doors to new markets, have a safer, cleaner product, and do that more efficiently with less of the human element, which is actually really good. It allows you to keep people that really want to be there and help contribute toward the overall goal, and kind of try and keep the best of the best and continue to move forward in that way. Yeah.
Can you give an example of one part of your operation that you made more efficient, and how you did that, and what were the results?
Yes. So most recently, this last off season, we utilized your team for upgrading our in-shell line. And in doing that, we got a 3U sorter, which we absolutely love. It's been amazing. And we robotized the back part of the line. So when our in-shell bags are palletized, it's now all done with your guys' robot. And that allowed us to eliminate 17 positions.
One robot palletizer?
One line. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. We had a lot of hand sorters before out there, and we had manual hand stackers for our in-shell bags. So we only have 3 employees that work in that department now.
And that was implementing 2 new pieces of machinery, one optical sorter and one robot palletizer.
And we utilize GWI, to redo
The ancillary equipment.
Yeah. The line, but yes.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Were you surprised at the results from that?
I was counting on the results from that because I included it in my ROI. I'm very thankful that it came through. Absolutely. You always go in a little bit skeptical.
Well, it's a big investment.
Yeah.
And it's not a cookie cutter thing that you can see, oh, someone else had this exact result that I know I will get. It's so many variables. So that's a brave risk to take. But it sounds like it paid off for you. As far as like the tactical experience of implementing that change, what were some things that you didn't expect that happened when you took that risk and you're like, okay, it's going to happen like this, and then eventually we'll get these results? Where were the expectations not in alignment with just like the steps of the process and how it all was implemented to get your final results?
Well, I've worked with you guys for so many years now that you guys have such great follow through that I knew what I could expect. So I think this time I went in more prepared than, let's say, previous projects where I was kind of new to implementing projects and kind of coordinating that. But I really, really appreciated the way everything was very transparent. You guys had your schedule. You had a manager on it who managed everything, when we were going to get shipments of things, when things were going to be installed, followed the timeline, followed through on the service side, had people there making sure that our sorter was set up, making sure that the robot was functioning properly. And, with any project, there's going to be minor things here and there that you don't really plan for. Really, all in all, this was the smoothest project that we've done. We did one in 2020, 2021 that just was different. I mean, everything with COVID related. I mean, that was just like anything that could go wrong in the building side did during that time. And so comparing that, which was our last project before, to this, was so smooth. I really don't have anything to say as far as areas that needed improvement. I thought it was great. Follow through is great.
Do you think in retrospect, with this past project that you would have done anything different or um, changed anything with your planning?
No, in fact, it went so great that we just bought another 3-use sorter from you guys to replace on our pack line. So that'll be installed soon, which is very exciting. And we're kind of looking to do the same thing on our pack line. So
What are you hoping for? What are your hopes and dreams for this next machine?
that one's going to eliminate 7 positions.
So you expect to get this machine paid off in less than a year? A year? What are you kind of hoping for?
It's a 1.8 when I calculated the ROA. Yeah. And that was being very conservative. So it probably will be sooner than that. But
So you really have a very close touch point on this topic that has come up in almost every conversation that I've had here at the show about this kind of buzz topic of AI, robots, machines taking human jobs, and the viewpoint on that, the reality on that. A lot of people say it just puts jobs into different places that, more satisfying, more skilled jobs. But you really have a touch point on that because you are the one letting go of those people, which I can't imagine is easy to do. So can you talk a little bit about your stance on that?
yeah, definitely. Well, for one thing, in order for businesses to stay alive, you have to be competitive. And it's not realistic anymore to have 7 people that are sometimes, I don't mean to sound insensitive, but obviously the human element is that it's not reliable. It's not always consistent. There's a lot that goes into having human element. And so where you can utilize machines that are programmed that you tell it what to do and it functions all day the way you need it to. I mean, that's the way businesses are going to stay alive. And I would argue that in doing that, we're creating and continuing to keep an economy and a lot of jobs alive for people that really do want to be there. I think I touched on that a little bit earlier, but the employees that really show up every day to be part of the solution and part of the team and want to be cross-trained and want to help each other out, those are the people that we hang on to with all we've got. And we really truly appreciate all of our employees. It'll shift a little bit, sure, but anyone that really wants to be out in the workforce, there are options. So I think this allows businesses to stay alive, and if we don't continue to become more efficient over these next years, businesses we can't survive.
It sounds like you have a very long game perspective. Like you're able to see the bigger picture. Not everybody has that. So how far ahead are you looking? How many years or decades or centuries are you looking when it comes to managing your business? And how do you plan to stay competitive as we move through the coming years?
I think we need to automate something each year moving forward. We always look at the 5 to 10 years. The next 5 to 10 years, what do we have coming in? I mean, I work with growers who are planting 20-year-long crops, right? So we're always looking toward the future and, how things are shifting. The California agricultural landscape is shifting so much with Sigma running in the background right now and, water scarcity in certain areas. And with that means that orchards are going to continue to decline. And with less throughput for packers and processors, efficiency is the only way to continue to make it. So 5, 10, 20 years, you never know what's going to happen, but you try to have as much foresight as possible and do everything you can to keep it going.
It's so incredibly refreshing to talk to a visionary, and I certainly could talk to you for 100,000 years, planning my future, just sitting here talking to you. It'd be great. I know you have to get to a meeting. I'm sorry it's so short, but thank you for being brave and sitting with me and sharing that valuable knowledge. You have a great perspective, and I appreciate your time.
Thank you so much.
Thank
I appreciate
you
you guys.